Did you guys hear about the guy in Texas that's going to be pardoned by the governor?
Oh, yes, but refresh my memory, please. I think I've got a gift.
I'm going to try to tell all the facts, and I'm afraid my bias will come through, but here's what's up. So there are these Black Lives Matters protests in Texas. They're going on, and they're bothering everyone, and they're busting windows and shit like that. You know the deal. So there's this guy, I forget his name, but in 24 hours, he posts on Facebook that he, and this is the quote, might have to kill a few people on his way to work. He gets in his car, he runs a red light, and he drives directly to the Black Lives Matters protest. He finds a protester who's carrying a gun. He never pointed the gun at him or anything. He just carried the gun, and he murdered the protester. He doesn't claim he even pointed the gun at him. He just says, I saw him with the gun. I was scared for my life, so I killed him. Yeah. And he was convicted of murder. And then the governor, Abbott, says, I'm going to pardon this guy. You know,
is
Texas
there a video of this one?
It's a stand your ground state. I don't know if there's a video, but there is testimony, and he claims the guy never pointed the gun at him or anything. He said, I had to kill him before he pointed the gun at me. And
he felt his life was in danger, as you say.
That's his defense. Yeah. I have a hard time with
what was he like driving past a protest, or was he like, was it one of like, was his car surrounded? Like what was happening?
He was driving to the protest. Like he ran a red light to get to the protest and found a guy carrying a gun and killed him.
So he was driving to the protest to like hang out, like just to go to the protest, or like it was on was it on the way to work?
Well, he posted that he was going to kill someone before he drove over there.
He said he might kill someone.
He said he might have to kill a few people, but he was wrong. He only had to kill one.
I'll meet you in the middle. Could we remove the few people part? There, I didn't know about that. That sounds extra bad. I'll go back to what you said the first time. Shit. It's so hard to defend that guy. Yeah.
There's usually a video.
How about the one recently? I don't want to get sidetracked. I want to hear more about this one, but where the 84-year-old man shot the young black man who was knocking on his door, mistaking his house, they claim, for the wrong house. And I'm sure, and the 84-year-old man says the person was trying to break into his house. But here's the problem. He shot him once, and the kid fell on the porch, presumably bleeding. And then he shot him again in the face.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know about that. Well,
yeah. And the first shot was like through the door, I think.
Through the door?
I think.
Like blasted through a wooden door?
I think. Oh, I mean, it absolutely will. The bullet will do it.
I believe you.
I think that's what he did. But I know for sure that he then went out there and like finished him off, essentially. There's no way he's getting away with that, right? But here's the problem with the stand your ground laws, the castle doctrine stuff. I don't remember what state the guy's in. I did see him in court being arraigned. So, but it's like there's a dead guy on his porch. He claims that guy was trying to break in. Who's to say, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if that's how it's structured, like they're really, like, what are they going to say? Like,
who's to say?
He feared for his life, and he was on his property, and they'll do it that way or something.
Because you know, let's say it went the other way. We're only getting, I don't know whose side we're getting right now, but if the guy said he was screaming and pounding on the door, he kept saying, "I'm gonna get you, DeAndre," and I was crying, saying, "My name's Sam, Sam, my wife's in here, please, no." And he said, "I'm gonna kill her too, DeAndre," and that's when I knew I had to protect Betty. Ever since 1966, when I looked in her daddy's eyes and I told him, then all of a sudden you're like, fuck, glad you smoked that bastard old man, you know, now you're on that side.
That's how it happened.
That's how I would be framing it if I were him right now. Even if Betty doesn't exist, he needs to be telling that Betty story.
Those are probably doing cheerleaders in Texas got into, I don't think they even went in the car. I think they were pulling on the door handle of the wrong car because they thought it was theirs, and they were both shot.
It's worse. I also don't know if they managed to get in or not. I presumed that they did from what I read. But the thing is, then they either got out or walked away when they realized their mistake. I think they got into the right car And then the guy was after him now. So he runs over and still shoots him while they're trying to get away.
It's a stand your ground state. He was fearing for his life.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to eliminate those threats. That's the American way. All I'm saying is when y'all are getting into your cars at night, make sure you're getting in the right fucking car. When you start knocking on doors at night, make sure it's the right fucking house because they're crazy people and they have guns.
Speaking of that, right, I want to know your guys' thoughts on a recent one that happened in the UK, because I feel like obviously guns aren't a thing here, so it's not like this isn't a normal occurrence, right? So it's a bit weird. There was like some guy, not really sure the whole situation, but some guy's running away from somebody, some guy's trying to kill him, right? In amongst this, the guy's run into some random house, right? He's gone into the house, like just sort of broken into it to try and, hide from this geezer. The guy's seen which house he's gone into and he shot straight through the door, right? The guy who's shot through the door has ended up killing a 9-year-old girl that was inside the house and not the guy who was running away, right? Now, obviously, the guy who shot into the door, he got arrested and charged. But the guy who broke into the house, running away from him, didn't get charged. Even though, like, in my eyes, he kind of caused the whole situation by breaking into that house where there was like a 9-year-old there,
Yeah, like, in the US, like I'm not that familiar, but I like if 3 people break into a house to burglarize it and like the elderly woman there dies of a heart attack while it's happening, like they're all in trouble for that. Like they created a situation that facilitated the death of someone. And so like, yeah, that person should absolutely be thrown up, like locked away. Like that 9-year-old girl would still be alive if he had picked a different house or if he just hadn't been involved or whatever. Yeah, fuck that guy. Put him in jail forever.
Yeah, yes. Somehow the guys, had nothing. It's super weird.
So let's do
what if you make a pregnant lady miscarry though?
With what? By breaking into her house and shooting her?
No, like you errantly throw a football and you hit her right in the baby hole.
I mean, that would be assault.
But the baby died.
Be so bad at football.
It's not a baby. It's
I don't know. This guy's got a fucking cannon. He killed a kid with it.
No, it is a baby. When they want it, it counts.
You're right.
Little inconsistency there.
Then, like, I guess, yeah.
We learned. I was in class. Here's a scenario. Husband and wife routinely argue. During these arguments, the wife theatrically pulls out the gun and pulls the trigger against her head, knowing the gun's unloaded. All right. This is a thing that she does. This happens.
Oh.
And the husband is like, fucking, hey, I can't stand this bitch anymore. I'm putting bullets in the gun. Next time she does this, it's a suicide. Turns out that's murder.
How does anybody know the extra details?
I don't know.
Is he bragging?
It's definitely murder. I mean, the way you described it, it's definitely murder. There's no question about it.
Yeah. I mean,
it literally assisted suicide.
It's no different than rigging her car to explode. It's the same fucking thing in the end. Yeah, that's wild. But anyone who's that silly with a gun, let's admit this. She was a fucking dumb cunt to begin with. Like, he's a murdering bastard, but she's a dumb cunt. Who's playing with a gun like that?
Manipulative.
Yeah. Oh, she was doing it like that. Like, I should kill myself. Click, click, click.
Yeah.
Oh,
you make me want to die.
Well, they deserved each other. Well, perfect.
Seemingly, yeah. That's so like unsettling when I'm sure you've experienced this and tried to avoid it. Like, when you go shooting with someone who isn't familiar with guns, and because of their lack of familiarity, they try and diffuse their nervousness by treating it more lighthearted than it is. Like, yeah. And like, they're not fully like realizing like it's a fucking gun. Like, you don't wave it. Like, you don't be like, and so quickly when stuff like that happens, like the jovial, like gun person mood changes to like, fuck, what the fuck? Like,
when I was like 19 or 20, I had a coworker not think my pistol was real and start playing around with it, and that was super scary. And I'm screaming, "It's real, dummy! It's real! Fucking put it down!" So that was super scary. He was foreign. He was one of those people. It doesn't matter. He was a brown fella, and Moroccan. But then the most common thing is always that someone had a blast literally when they just did the thing with the gun, and they just want to turn around and look at you and be like share the moment. and
cool
so
is that?
but they're barrel sweeping everyone because the gun's still in their hand, so I would always be, let them know, hey, you're going to want to turn around and talk to us after you do this. Turn with your head, turn with your head. Whenever you want to talk, turn with your head, because this has got us, you're talking through that real quick and everybody gets it. It's rare that you tell someone that and they get it wrong. That's a clear sign we can't go any further.
Yeah.
If that instruction was too much, we're done. We're done. You're not a gun person. Not around me anyway. You got to be able to master not pointing the gun at me.
And so I've been in this situation. I get to blame the range officer. It's like, look, this is how this works. This gun always stays pointed down range, always. When you take it out of your bag, you look at it, turn your bag so it's pointed down range, and then remove it. That's how that works. Like after you shoot, you pick it up off the table, you shoot, then you put it back down on the table. That's it. You can't turn to me. You can't muzzle sweep. If you do, that guy over there yells at you. That guy. That's the problem we have. It's not my safety. It's that guy over there. And that works for me.
Yeah. Whenever I hear about people dealing with the rules at ranges and the rate of fire caps, like one bullet every couple seconds and stuff like that, I wouldn't even want to have anything to do with guns if I had to shoot them that way.
I've never heard
so
the rate
ridiculous.
of fire. No full auto is a thing, or like what did Trump outlaw?
The bump stocks.
Bump stocks. No bump stocks.
No, there's it's like a clunk thing or whatever. At the gym, whatever you call it,
lunk alarm.
Yeah, lunk alarm. Yeah. It's like that. If you start shooting too fast, they'll come and get you. And I mean, pop, 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 pop would be way too fast. So
yeah, not where I
wouldn't want any part of that.
I'm not that good at double tapping, which I guess exposes me to people who are good at it. But I need a second, like 1,000, and then I can shoot again. But when I see somebody double tap really well, and they're hitting, it's cool, and the range seems cool with it. For sure.
Yeah. No, I just a different. I'd want to be in a field somewhere shooting. That's just the way to shoot. It's way quieter. Shooting indoors. I had never done that until I started making those videos. That I had never shot indoors because it's just awful. Awful.